Well,
taste.
Kirby is always easy.
Yeah, I know, but you know, because I'm not into the old Kirby, the new Kirby kind of piques my curiosity a bit.
It looks adorable, and I want it now.
I want to collect them all.
You know, overall, I'm just glad to see Nintendo utilizing franchises other than the big three again. You know.
Well, to be honest, I'm still waiting for a Star Fox Wii.
Hey, man.
Star Fox and F-Zero for Wii, please.
Well, there was a Star Fox title confirmed for the 3DS, which
It's a remake of Star Fox 64.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and the screenshots look amazing.
All right. Well, all right. Is this a good time to segue into the 3DS then?
Yes. Well, speaking of the 3DS and the remakes thing, apparently there's a remake of Ocarina of Time and Star Fox 64.
I've heard of the Ocarina of Time remake.
Apparently what was going on is that Nintendo was using them as tech demos. But after the positive review, and they were kind of already looking into making full remakes based on what could work in 3D, they say after the positive reviews, it's pretty likely that they're going to do it.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Remaking Ocarina of Time seems like a big deal.
Wait, no, why? They were already done it on the Wii.
What?
What are you talking?
Oh, Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, what do you guys think of the 3DS in general?
Looks awesome. And
I
Snake Eater.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm very. I was doing a pre E3 podcast with my new affiliates at GeekFighters.com. Shameless plug. And one of the guys were hoping that the new 3DS would have like near GameCube like graphic quality. So I thought it was a little far fetched to assume
from what I've been hearing, is that looks like late Dreamcast PS2 era graphics.
Yeah, but even then, I still think that's incredible.
Yeah.
But
because to be perfectly honest, the DS had really bad 3D.
I would agree with that to an extent. Has it been revealed if it uses CD or cartridge based media? Because if that's cartridge, I'd be impressed.
Well, I don't know about cartridge or CD, but I know it's apparently going to have an installation feature where you can install multiple games on it.
Yeah, it has 2 gigabytes of storage on it. Base 2 gigabytes.
It actually has a hard drive that's bigger than their console.
And that's bad.
You know, Nintendo is losing the motion control advantage when they finally decided to step it up again and start catering to actual gamers. Because
I'm not complaining.
Neither.
It's like I just want to say this is like the reason I see Nintendo doing this is because Sony and Microsoft both have the hardware advantage already. They've gotten back down to where Nintendo doesn't have a price advantage, and now they're bringing out motion control. They already have a solid hardcore gamer base as it is, and now they're rolling out the red carpet for the casual crowd. How is Nintendo going to compete if it keeps on the same track? That's why they're stepping it up. That's all I see.
Well, how long with the 3DS? How long do you think it'll extend the Wii's longevity?
Depends on what comes out for it initially, really.
Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Wii 2 was announced next E3.
It's possible. It depends on how much, depends on how successful the Move and Kinect is.
By
the way,
Kinect's probably not gonna. I think the Move will be decently popular.
When you first heard the word Kinect, did anyone immediately think of Kinect 4?
I thought of Kinect, those little Lego rip-off things.
As far as the motion control success goes, I don't see Kinect being terribly successful at the prices I've been hearing for it.
$150 for a glorified camera.
Really?
Yeah.
The PlayStation Move I see being more feasible because it seems more affordable overall. And apparently the games are supposed to sell at lower than normal PS3 retail price. Which
the other thing is that Sony said that both versions are going to be on the same disc. Like Killzone 3 is going to have the motion and the regular one on the same disc. So You don't have to buy
Blu-ray.
a specific version for Blu-ray, exactly.
Blu-ray disc for the win, my friends.
So that's going to
Hey.
be a big plus. So you don't have to produce two separate versions of the same game or have anything be specific for it and not work with the other one.
Yeah. So you know that works. That works fine. That works awesome for me. And you know what? I might actually go out and buy it.
There were a couple of games that piqued my interest. I'm probably not going to get it, but there are games that piqued my interest.
It's like I'm interested in the concept of Kinect, but
Too bad
there are two things that turn me off. One is the price, and the other is there are no buttons. So how are you going to do those functions that you can't necessarily do with motion control, like analog character movement?
Yeah, Jim already brought it up that you can't really control your character without some kind of stick or interface to use it on. So.
Well, if that's the case, and that's extremely retarded.
Yeah.
Call me a cynic, but I just find like the new motion controls, PlayStation Move, Kinect stuff, it's a little bit gimmicky to me, and I just feel like it's going to have the same kind of fate that iToy did, where they released iToy, they made some stuff for it, and then it was never heard from ever again. And I get the feeling that maybe Kinect and maybe Move are going to go the same route, because I just don't see people shelling out $150 for the Kinect when you get to pet a tiger, you know? I don't know.
Well, I think the Move's going to get a bit more support, because obviously Killzone 3 and some other big-name titles are going to use it.
Well,
and two, if you're going to go the gimmick route, well, the Wii's gimmicky too, and at least, again, like the Wii Motion Plus, the Move seems like it actually at least works.
And if not, then if all fails, then it'll just die off, and they can just focus their attention on what really matters, just making great games, and not have to worry about gimmicks.
Well, the thing I think that in this case the peripherals have a bit of an advantage because, well, in previous generations around now would be towards the end of a console's life cycle, but from what I can tell, it seems like people think that the Xbox 360 PS3 console life cycle is actually going to last quite a bit longer than previous generations.
I'm not sure about the 360, but the PS3 is going to last a lot longer than.
So basically, what I think is going to happen is at the very least, the PlayStation Move is going to have time to take root, and games are eventually going to come out for it. It might be slow, but I think there's enough time for it to be successful. And then when the next console rolls along, it'll have its own version, and it'll have that kind of stuff right from the off. And you know, in the best case scenario, that's how it could all turn out. And,
well, Nintendo will probably be the first to announce their successor before PlayStation or Xbox.
Well,
yeah,
because considering the Wii was outdated when it first came out.
only because it needs to catch up. You know, now that it can't win on motion control gimmicks alone.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing I love about the idea of these peripherals being peripherals, though, is that the console still comes with a regular controller as its main thing. It still has that regular button-based gaming at its core. So nothing's really being replaced. It's just expanding its own market. So I'm fully supportive of that, even if it does turn out to be only casual gimmicks and stuff. You know, maybe I was just taken in too much by Kevin Butler's speech. But you know,
You've been brainwashed.
I think what he said actually has the ring of truth, even though it's 80% theatrics.
Going on to other conferences, how about Ubisoft and their totally not laser tag?
Wait! What was this? I might have missed this. What was that?
I was watching Ubisoft's presentation. What was it? Monday, I think. And like in the middle of their conference, a bunch of people start coming in with laser guns, just doing the whole pew 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 thing. I was like, we have this new product that's totally not laser tag, even though it really is.
Oh man!
They spent like 15 minutes showing this thing off, and I'm sure everyone in the room was like, "It's laser tag." That's all it is. It's freaking laser tag.
I want I hope Microsoft's listening to this. I want a Kinect version of Crossfire, the board game from the 90s. Complete with fiery background and awesome background music, and you actually disintegrate if you lose.
That was one thing I did want to mention about Kinect on a purely frivolous note. I was watching the Sonic Freeriders demo, and the guy was pointing and clicking and moving the menu with his hand, and I'm just like, dude, that guy must be God. It did look seriously cool, even though I knew it was, just a pointless.
Like Minority Report.
In other news, who else is happy?
Hang on, guys. I need to duck out for a bit. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, speaking of other news, who else is happy that Rayman is finally getting another game?
And it's not a Rabid game, yeah.
No, well, no, that pissed me off because they showed the Rabid game first, them traveling through time, and I was like, oh, for God's sakes, you're making another fucking Rabid game, and you completely forget about Rayman, your mascot.
Do you know anyone who actually plays the Rabid games? Because I don't.
Neither do I.
I did for 2 minutes.
And then they showed a new 2D Rayman game, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
I played the Rabbit game for the first one. I think it was a launch title for the Wii.